coming at you live from WTUR, the best hot music in all of Indiana.
The number one station for rock music in central Indiana.
You are listening and watching the one, the only WTUR, The Source, live from Upland, Indiana, hosted at Taylor University. We've got another special desk interview today. My name is Caleb Joshua Heffron. I'll be your host, and we have the beautiful, wonderful, illustrious members of Happy Landing with us. Thank you so much for coming on.
Illustrious.
What an intro. Thanks, man.
Of course. They're playing today here at Taylor University live, and we've got this interview recorded. They're welcome to come in and telling us about their music, about their process, and a little bit about the band themselves. We want to go ahead and get a little introduction, though, to the band members themselves, maybe the instruments. We go with that. Start with you.
Yeah. I'm Cameron. Looking at Cameron.
Yeah, you can look at the camera, look at me, wherever you feel comfortable.
I'm Jacob, and I play drums.
My name's Maddie, and I sing and play guitar and stuff like that.
My name's Keegan. I'm the girl. And I play the keys and sometimes the bass. And I sing.
Perfect.
She does. I'm Andrew. I'm kind of a string guy, so I do violin, mandolin, lap steel, and electric guitar.
Multi-talented.
Yeah.
And I am upstage with Jacob in the back playing bass, banjo, and electric guitar.
What is your name?
Wilson, yeah.
I forgot who I was.
I was like, you're the intro guy now. That's right.
I slipped into character too much.
Exactly.
And that's Zach back there, our sound guy. Shout out Zach.
Shout out Zach.
Our magic man.
Off camera.
Even though he's not on stage, he still does everything we need for him.
He's holding
He's in our hearts.
He's literally holding the stage up.
That's how it feels. Yes.
Like Atlas. Yes, like Atlas.
Now, this is also a big day for you guys, too, because I know this is right before the start of your big tour coming up, which starts April 1st, I believe.
Yeah,
Is that what
that's right.
That's not a trick, right? I know it's on April Fool's Day. You will actually be in concert that
Yes,
day.
we will be
Israel.
in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. It's
Maybe.
Minneapolis. And then Chicago, then Indianapolis, right? To start the tour, I think.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes,
Sounds good.
Indianapolis.
Perfect.
Indianapolis.
The Big Sun Tour.
Yes.
To launch that new album, which came out March 6th, I believe, which was Big Sun. Is that right?
Bang.
Yes.
Dude, you did your research.
I did. Hey, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't, would I?
Heck yeah.
You guys want to tell me a little bit about this new album? What should people expect from it, from the tour? Let's keep talking about that.
What do we got?
Where do I begin?
That's good. You'll know. Yeah.
You'll get that joke later.
I don't know. I'm excited about this record because it's my favorite stuff we've ever made, and so it's different. Some of it's very different from other things. Some of it's like similar to the old stuff that we've put out, but some of it's like very new and different.
Yeah.
It's just kind of those are the cliff notes.
Yeah.
At least off the top of my head.
No, for sure. Because you guys are like this mix of alternative, indie, rock, folk, right? Am I hitting all of that pretty right?
Yeah.
Where did
Yes.
that sound kind of come from?
I mean, good cue. I think. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think we've kind of lived in like the folk universe for a little bit now. That was kind of Maddie's instinct when he started this thing.
Okay.
And I think just by virtue of everybody kind of coming in with different music tastes and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of morphed into this kind of folky goo. You know what I mean? This thing that we're making now. So here we are, where we just made the Big Sun album, and it's got some of the kind of like folk stuff that we started with, even kind of expanded into more like alternative rock, like you said.
Nice. Absolutely. So you, from what I heard, Mr. Matty, is it Matt or Matty, actually? I don't even know. Matty. All right, with a Y. All right,
That's
there we go.
right.
So
Yeah.
this band was your idea. This is your fault? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it's my fault, basically.
Awesome.
It's my fault. None of us make money.
So tell me how the band got started then. Where'd you get this idea from? Because y'all are from Oxford, Mississippi, is that right? Where the band originates
Yes, sir.
from?
Yeah.
Awesome. Tell me about
Yeah,
that.
we all met at Ole Miss,
Okay.
going to school there. I mean, I always wanted to be in a band. I was in a band in high school with my cousins, and so it was like later in college, and I kind of just came to this point where it was like I could go one or two ways, right? Like I could actually try the music thing or just go do my major and get in the workforce and everything, which was also exciting, but I thought that I would always regret not trying it. And so this kind of Avengers of folk music kind of came together on campus, and we started putting out music, and it started doing well. And then here we are now. The name comes from my grandfather. He has this land in Missouri where my mom grew up, and it's called Happy Landing.
Nice.
And so I just felt like it was a solid name to start a group under. Yeah. And I didn't really know that it would make it out of college or think that it would make it out of college. I wasn't the plan, I guess. I knew that it would be cool to do this as a career, but I didn't necessarily think that it would happen. Yeah. You can't put your eggs in one basket, I guess. Yeah. But here we are, and I'm glad we're here. And we've been doing it for 5 years now. So.
That is pretty crazy. And so you started while you were still in college, too. Man, that is wild.
During COVID. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So, see, y'all actually did something productive during COVID then. Y'all got to make a band out of it.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it was kind of like me and Maddie recorded the first EP. Me, Maddie, and his brother and sister-in-law recorded the first EP.
Which is Just Kids at Heart, right? 2020.
This guy.
There we go.
We got a real Nardwar over here. We recorded that like mid-March.
Wow.
2020.
Okay.
And then, everything happened that happened. And
honestly, if you had to go through that kind of thing again, I would tell anyone I know to start a band. Like even just for the opportunity of something to do. It was just awesome to practice all the time.
Just like a project. Yeah. Just start like any kind of idea. That was really helpful for us because we had so much time. So like everybody that had been like in our industry, like a lot of bands had like broke up. Yeah. At that point, they were making money from playing shows, and then the money was gone. We didn't have that issue because we were just starting. So it's like we had the first time we were playing shows was the first like real shows that we did were once the world was kind of like opening back up. So we had all this time to practice, and we were just like in the perfect position to at least start. By the time
for sure. So you got to start with Ground Zero, just like everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so.
It was like we recorded everything. Like me and Maddie and his brother and sister-in-law. We recorded everything in March of that year, and then we never went back to school. And then summer, and then we came back from summer.
Yeah, this would be fall 2020 then.
Yeah, and we put the EP, a single and an EP out, and like it was on the debut. We had like after like the first week or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we had like 11,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and we were like, "Oh my god, that's crazy!" And we're like, "I guess we got to do this after college." And we were like, "Yeah, man." Me and Maddie graduated a year before everybody else.
Gotcha.
So we moved to Nashville first, and then they joined.
Okay.
I'm kind of skipping some things. But
no, you're all good. It's all good.
We only have a half an hour.
It's all good. It's all good. So if it started then as Maddie and Jacob and brother and sister-in-law, where did everybody else come in? How did the ensemble come together here?
We ambushed them.
By stages.
Yeah, go for it.
They were in a rival band.
No, that's the
opposite. What was the timeline? I guess we got to the fall, and Maddie's brother and sister-in-law didn't want to, play our college shows with us. They have a life. And so Jacob texted me one day and said, "Hey, do you want to come sing this song?"
We were dating at the time.
Me and Jacob were dating. We're married now.
Just a little bit
end.
different. Yeah.
We're just not dating because it moved further. Anyway.
I see what you're saying.
He said, "You want to come sing this song with us?" Because they lived in the same room with each other, actually.
We did share like a 12 by 12 bedroom.
Okay, gotcha.
Oxford.
And so I came over and we sang, I didn't even know what it was. It was either Coastal Town or it's probably Coastal Town. Yeah. Or October, one of those. It was Coastal Town. And then played a show with them, our first ever show in a backyard. And then Wilson came along. Or you guys can, I guess, explain your own stories. But
you had done some before me, right?
You were in attendance.
It was in attendance. I dropped in on the...
And then we were like, "Do you want to sing?"
Well, we talked about it beforehand, Maddie had sort of soft floated to me the idea of helping out and singing. But I already knew that like his brother was going to be playing instruments. Right. And I was just super happy to be asked to join in on something, Yeah. And then actually going to the show, I was like, he's playing bass. But it'd be sick just to have it for the whole set. It was like swapping in and off of it. So
that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vividly remember you coming up to me after the show, and because you sang Rivers and Roads with us, we covered the Head and the Heart song. I was like, oh man, I just love a guy who can hold harmony. and you were like, if you ever need someone to play bass,
Just a little soft pitch.
Me and Wilson were in a band together before COVID.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I had learned from that just enough to know if anybody is in need of bass, whether they know it or not, and you offer, it's a good move.
Yeah.
It's a good like way to get yourself a job.
Yeah, we played 3 shows and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then our the other co-lead singer, our friend Isaac, moved to like Chapel Hill or something.
Gotcha.
Ministry.
Yeah,
More power to him.
Yeah, different route. Just
But
different route.
exactly.
There we
Miss
go.
those songs.
Man. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then number 5.
you are sharp, my man. You are.
This guy. Yeah. Well, I knew Jacob, and I was in some bands at the time. This was I don't know, like late 2020 probably when I came in. But I had been playing around. Jacob and I had met. We had some classes together, and then he reached out to me at one point and was like, "Wait, we should get some lunch sometime." And I was like, am I in trouble? Like, 'cause we didn't really like know each other.
We didn't know each other that well.
Yeah. And so he brought me out, and we got lunch, and he had mentioned that there was a band he was a part of that they were interested in adding somebody. And I had heard She's Got Brooklyn before that in somebody's car, Avery Sadler's car, actually. She was driving me home.
Wow, what a
I was
deep
like
cut.
working on campus, and she drove me home. She was like, "My friend just put this song on." I was like, "Do you mind if we listen?"
shout out Avery Sadler.
Shout out Avery Sadler.
Behind the scenes, me and Maddie were like, let's get Andrew Gardner to come play fiddle in our
It was hard
band.
not to be conspiratorial
Yeah,
about getting like one of the better players in
Yeah.
our town.
He was in like 3 bands at the time.
Wow.
I was like,
hot commodity.
we'll see if we can get him.
I was like, how can we convince this dude that we're the best band in the town?
We're the best band coming out of Oxford.
What they didn't know is I was just in a period of like, I was like, I'm just going to say yes to everything. So there we go. So I said yes because I was like, one of these things is going to lead to something else. And 6 years later, here I am in Upland, Indiana, chilling with Caleb
Exactly.
at WTUR.
That's right. That is crazy. So none of you even knew each other prior to Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Not to old
We're all from different.
I
We're all
think
from
we
different
had met
places.
technically.
Well, so
but-
technically, we have some shared roots in
Christian ministry
denomination.
stuff.
They're probably cousins somewhere.
We might as well be cousins.
Right.
Yeah, your parents did know each other.
We have girl overlap that we didn't even know about until we both were friends and in this band. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think he was wearing that bandana when I met him.
That's
10 years
crazy.
ago, man.
He might have been wearing
It
that
was
bandana
red.
when I met him.
Pretty sure.
Not the strangest thing to
Heck
happen. I did. Yeah. I had just found out about David Foster Wallace. So I was going, okay.
He was in a bandana mood, man.
That's good. I found a new guy to try to be.
So there's this like just crazy interconnected web then that you all guys came together.
Yeah.
That is why. That's fate,
It's
basically.
very
It
much the
seems like.
serendipity of life.
Yeah.
Right there.
No, definitely. So tell me then, coming out of COVID, you guys have obviously played a couple shows that you mentioned before COVID.
Oh yeah.
But then after COVID, the band slowly starts to come together. What happened after that? Like, when did you guys start touring immediately? Were you just putting out music? Because y'all were gone to Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
There was a
Not
little bit of
yet.
time. There was like at least 1 year, I think, where everybody was in town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pre-COVID ending.
post COVID, like when things started kind of easing up.
like that 2021 kind of.
Yeah, we were on our way out of Oxford,
Yeah.
but like we'd stuck around for the school. Even though what am I?
You guys finished technically what was your senior year,
Yeah,
our junior
yeah.
year. We played a few shows around Oxford and Auburn.
We played one show in Auburn, Alabama.
and then
nice.
a few other
Or
random
2 or 3.
ones, but not often. But we would practice every week for who knows what. I mean, just
Why did you
whatever
do that?
came up.
Yeah.
Just
We were practicing.
We were
a
practicing
lot.
all the
We
time.
really were.
It was
Yeah.
just
it was COVID.
It was
We
the
had nothing to
sense
do.
that it would pay off later too.
Uh-huh.
It was like serious investment
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
point. to
Not
be
only.
like, hey, we're gonna have to be this good eventually.
Yeah.
It was important because, once like the restrictions let up in spring of 2021, our local venue, Proud Larry's,
Shouts out, bro.
let us do a show. They cleared 2 dates for us.
Wow.
And we sold both out.
Shout out Pride Larry.
And it's like, if we hadn't like just grinded during COVID, we wouldn't have that fan base. And if we didn't put out that music. And so we kind of had that fan base growing during that time when nobody was doing anything. And then when it was ready to go, we were ready to go too.
Yeah. And how did that first show go? How was that?
It was awesome. It was like one of the best nights of our life.
Yeah.
2 nights for sure.
That's crazy. That's exciting. So then after that, y'all finished that first year kind of together. Y'all are gone right now in Nashville. How did you guys even keep the band alive then if you're in 2 different states?
It was only like it's only like a 4-hour drive.
Okay, that's
from
fair.
Oxford to Nashville.
Yeah.
So
We saw each other a lot still.
they came up on the weekends
Honestly,
to
we did
record
come
and
up
write.
a lot.
And
4
stuff.
hours on the weekends constantly?
It wasn't like constantly, but
That's
it was
dedication.
we would, I mean, we took some rides together for sure. I mean, you guys were still dating. There was like you were getting pretty serious. I was planning to move to Nashville anyway, so it made sense for me.
And like I'm from Franklin, which
Oh, there
is just
you go.
south. So it's like I was already going to be hanging out there as much as possible. There's
Yeah.
like so much of this was also yet another example of like it just kind of worked out. For
It was
the
always
best
going to
that
be
way.
in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it being a little difficult though, just because it was like, what is next?
Right.
And but there were little things that kept us going. Like we played this house show or Tiger Fest, that kind of stuff. Met some band friends in Auburn, Alabama, and then like in that fall, we got an offer to play our hometown festival in this coming spring. Yeah. So there were like little things like, okay, this is still going. I know I was worried because like you got to have motion.
Yeah.
You can't have no motion in music.
Yeah.
And,
Shark gotta swim.
True.
But I do remember. I remember saying we're gonna go on tour next year. And I had no idea how that was gonna happen. I didn't even know what that meant.
I was like, okay.
But it just goes to show you, like putting things out there. I don't know what that means, whether God intervenes or like it just works out for you, or you start going for it harder because you've made it a statement. But sure enough, we got a show in Nashville, like our first show in Nashville, opening for a band that we had met over the summer. And they're
Shout out Hotel Fiction.
Shout out.
Okay.
And their agent calls us like the day after the show, and it's like, I can't stop listening to music.
Wow.
I want to book you guys a tour.
There you go.
And we had no fans like across the country or anything, but he just
Yeah.
But he was like, well, I'm going to throw you out on the road and we're going to see what happens.
Wow.
Bro, some of those gigs were crazy.
Man, tell me about that first tour then.
Oh gosh.
Dude. Oh my God. You want to
hours.
hear something,
Yeah, I want to
pal?
hear about the tour.
Do you have a spare hour?
Yeah. Can we extend this time
Seriously.
slot?
We'll try to keep it short.
Hey, I'm
I'll
here as
try
long
to-
as y'all
I
can
have
be
my
here.
story if nobody
Yeah.
gets to it.
This is going to sound really silly, but so the first van we bought,
Yeah.
it was like this shaggin' wagon. Like it was like this old Econoline like conversion van. It had like these big cloth, like felt, whatever, like captain's chairs in the back and no room for gear in the back. We didn't have a trailer. We took it down to Charleston where our booking agents are based.
Okay. In South Carolina?
Yeah, Charleston,
Okay,
South
there we
Carolina. And we take it down there. We'd already played. Had we already played like a show or two?
We had played a few shows.
Fort Wayne.
Yeah,
We played
Middle
a few
Waves.
shows. This was like
Oh my God.
a week
that
into that
Crazy.
tour.
year?
Holy crap.
first trip we took.
Yeah.
So we took a couple trips with this van
Yeah.
and then we go down to Charleston to like start the tour.
Yeah.
Because I think the first show was in Charleston. It was that after party at Windjammer when Flip Turn was headlining. So we do some shows around the Southeast, and then it had been like a week that we had been gone from Nashville, and we have to go play shows we're moving west. We got to play shows in like New Orleans and Texas and stuff. And
Oh, are you telling the first story?
about the boatmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're going to Savannah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you covered on that.
We had to drive to. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, anyways, I'll let somebody else fill in the blanks. But essentially, we stop at a gas station on our way to Savannah,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't start. The van wouldn't start.
Oh, no.
So we're at this gas station for hours, and we're like, look at the clock, and we're really, we got to get going. And a couple people stop and like see if we're doing it, like check on us, and then like the third or fourth guy that comes over and is like, mind if I take a look? He goes, you got a Marine battery in here. We're like, what? He's like, this is a battery for a boat engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It literally said
like a
marine
two-stroke.
battery.
On the-
Like, big.
on the
bad.
yeah.
It was really bad.
So something had, and then that caused some other problems.
Of course.
The spark tube blew the gobstopper.
We were
out
like
of it.
running that car on like a lemon battery, basically, like expecting it to not just break all the electronics in it.
hauling so much stuff.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness!
Five
Right, you've had to got instruments and
Overweight.
people
Yeah,
and everything. Like, because why would putting a boat battery in a car be a problem?
Put a boat battery in a Honda Civic, like, okay, that's one thing. Put a boat battery in a 1992 Ford
Yeah,
Econoline,
all
like,
of
give me a
those.
break.
The
Oh
van
my
was
gosh.
older than all of us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rock and roll, baby.
And
yeah.
trying to think,
Yeah, we
it
could
did
make
this
this
weird
story
thing
really
where
long.
if you hit a bump, the steering would just kind of go out for a sec, and you could
really
move the
done.
wheel like
Yeah,
you could move the wheel like this, and the tires wouldn't.
Oh,
Yeah, that was crazy.
golly.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
stories like that, though. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know how many details we want to give you.
But then it was like we borrowed a friend's truck,
Yes,
like a pickup
the-
truck,
The
5
immediate
seats.
next.
The same
yeah.
day.
Oh, dude.
The same day.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out Ollie Bogus. And we borrowed his truck. We take it down to Savannah because we couldn't get our boat vans, our boatmobile to start. So we drive down to Savannah in his truck. We play the gig. That was the whole thing. They didn't give us a sound guy or sound whatever. Wilson had to do everything.
We showed up and they were like, "We thought you had
Yeah.
all the stuff."
Like
We don't have a van.
we play the
We
gig.
have instruments. I don't know. We don't have speakers.
Man.
I don't- you know.
Play the gig. We go to leave. Our friend's truck won't start.
Oh yeah, we're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that night.
That was,
That next night.
Yeah.
That was the night I
It's the
learned
same
that you could
night.
like pour Coca-Cola on the battery.
Yeah.
When it like fizzled out
Yeah.
like that.
Man.
And then I feel like there was a third vehicle mishap.
well, it was
On
that
that
same.
stretch.
It was because then we had
Oh,
to rent that
the rental
minivan
minivan.
because we got back to Charleston. Our van still wasn't
Oh,
ready,
wow.
and we needed to get down to New Orleans, which is far from.
It was like a
Charleston.
13-hour
So
drive.
close.
12, 13
So
hour drive.
And so we rented this minivan and we took it through Texas and then we went to Mississippi
It was honestly
to head back to Charleston
great. Yeah.
and we're on the interstate in traffic in Jackson, Mississippi.
We'd stayed at
And-
his parents' house.
We just hear a like a
Not again.
and we're like, did
Not
someone?
again.
No one hit us. We're looking around. We look in the back windshield, and it's
a hole.
It's busted.
This
Shattered.
big.
Shattered.
Like
Yeah.
softball,
Shattered.
like a softball
No.
size hole.
There's
It
no-
looked like someone
Yeah.
had shot at us. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We don't.
Well, I mean, I have an idea as to what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we say?
Yeah.
All right, so
Go
we had 5 people in this minivan. So
Yeah.
we're like, we had decided that we just like beanbag wrapped all of our luggage and put it on the hood,
Oh,
or
no.
the
Yeah.
top of the van.
Roof of the car, yeah.
And didn't have any issues until evidently that back windshield gave in.
That
from all
John,
the weight.
it was heavy.
It was not
Dude,
a
it was really
not a
heavy.
load bearing windshield.
But shout out Enterprise. We rolled up and they were just like,
hooked us up.
it's fun.
We'll pick
Take
you
this
up.
van.
Yeah.
It was
We
the exact
lost
same model.
like a $250 deposit. That was it.
And then
Yeah.
in front of the Enterprise, we just put that bag on a different van.
And then we're on the side of the interstate and someone was like, beep, beep, happy landing.
Hey.
That was fun.
And we were like,
that
are
was
we
fun.
famous?
friend
But it
or
was like
something?
my friend from high school.
Sorry.
That still counts. That's crazy.
Everything we just described, without going
Yeah.
into too many details, happened in the span of like 3 weeks.
Wow.
The first 3
It was-
weeks we
this
ever
is like
toured.
2
Oh my
Yeah, that was
goodness.
And like, I feel like a lot of people would quit after that, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah.
Man.
That, we could have gone into way more detail, but yeah, that happened.
There's a second van too that broke down, but that's another one.
Oh my
God, we don't have time for all the van stories.
We've gone through, I think, 10 vehicles in
Wow.
3.5 years, 4
That
years
is
of touring.
crazy.
If you add up like our friend letting us borrow his truck, rentals, and
Yeah.
We
rentals
had
of
an
vans.
Odyssey for a while.
Man, that is crazy. So everything is just falling into chaos, even just trying to get to your locations.
Yeah.
What kept you guys still going during all this?
love of the game, bro.
Straight up,
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
or lack thereof.
Because we're doing so well from the start. We're
Yeah.
just rolling in it.
No, but seriously, what about those performances was so energizing that kept you guys going like every single week?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's
I think
I
we
just
just
love
always
this.
believe it's kind of like what you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier. Like we just always thought it would like pay out.
Yeah.
We always thought it would pay off
Yeah.
in a big way.
Yeah.
delusional commitment to a dream.
Yeah,
As-
that belief. Yeah.
Yeah, as cliche as that sounds, like, I mean, we love each other, but that kind of roughing it was rough enough that if
Yeah.
we didn't love each other and love what we were doing, we actually would have quit.
Yeah,
And this
I
is
believe it.
like a hindsight cliche. Like, I don't know, nobody makes anything worthwhile or does anything worthwhile without going, I feel like, struggling.
Yeah.
Like
some risks,
having to like
some-
overcome just a pile of horse manure to get to what we want. Because we've always had kind of like astronomic goals.
Yeah.
And so I think that if it was easy, then I don't know.
It wouldn't be worth it.
It's
You know what I'm trying to say?
it's like
Does that track?
It's like they say in the Witwicky family, no sacrifice, no victory.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
Yes.
That's
Straight
good.
up, we believed in the music and we believe in each other. And you know, what else is there?
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
Which
What else
we
is
didn't
there
really
but love?
we didn't really need anything else for a few years. Now it's like, okay, yeah, we need some money. And luckily, you know, it's finally starting to like really go in a good way for us.
yeah.
So that's what I tell people when they ask, like, you know, what does it take? And I mean, you really just have to believe in yourself. Like, and if you're gonna quit, then quit. But like, you better go for it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
If you really want it, it depends how bad you want it.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. And you can't figure it out until you actually try it either.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for sure. Which in 2022, speaking of that music, that was your first self-titled EP with the band as it is. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so educated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is, yeah.
That's kind of why we did.
It was like,
yeah.
I think
It was like a-
it was almost exactly
Full unveiling.
4 years ago that we put it out.
March release, February
It was
release?
March.
Man.
Heavens.
Which
Y'all
the
just-
first even release was in March, right? Y'all's first album, the first EP back in 2020.
We recorded it.
Recorded it in March.
and then we
Close,
put it out.
close.
We put it out at the end of that summer,
Okay, gotcha.
beginning of that fall, end of summer.
Gotcha.
It was March 18th. Oh, we just missed it by 3 days. Sorry.
Oh, so
Curses.
close. So
Next
close.
year.
How about that?
But that's pretty crazy. Like having your first EP together as a band to like officially with all the members with it, right?
Yeah.
What about that was different from even what you guys had produced before? What did you love so much about that EP?
The 22?
Yeah. Mhm.
Self-titled.
I mean, I just thought it sounded really good.
Yeah.
Honestly. We worked with this guy Blake Moeller. Shout out. Shout out.
We have a lot of people we need to shout
I
out.
know.
Yeah.
A lot of people that has helped us along the way.
Yeah, we worked with him, and he kind of saw the vision and wanted to get involved
Yeah.
at an early stage. And we still work with him.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So he just recorded, and some folks that he knew got involved on this last album as well. So like, I don't know, it's been like very like family affair.
Yeah.
And that first one just felt like the same kind of thing that I feel now, where like it feels like you're kind of growing at each stage. We're getting better, and like, oh, that sounds more like us. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that feels right.
Yeah.
That's,
what I mean?
Yeah. It sounds more like us is like, that just sort of sums it up.
Yeah.
Like the joy was just hearing and going like, we're really getting there. This
Yeah.
is like us on a record.
Yeah, I loved making that because you know, when you're a young artist and or a songwriter or whatever, you really are trying to be your heroes. Like you're trying to be, you know, the people you listen to or whatever, and or at least make songs that make you feel what their songs make you feel.
Yeah.
And I remember like writing those songs and wanting to be, you know, Wesley Schultz of the Lumineers, or just wanting to be like Camp, or wanting to be like Mountjoy, whatever, whoever it was at the time. And the best part of that experience with the EP was making those songs and it turning out to be something completely different that I would have never made on my own, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was my first like real taste at like, oh, like this is something completely new and different. And like, we have our own sound.
Yeah.
And that was so cool because like, at the end of the day, that's exactly how you want it to go, right? Like as a musician, you want to be inspired by your heroes and then do your own thing.
Yeah.
And that moved me really, and it was a very impactful experience, and it kept me doing music, I think.
Absolutely. Now, I am curious, before I get back to the music, how exactly did Jacob and Keegan then become Jacob and Keegan? When did that happen?
Like when did we start dating?
Like, because I know you mentioned you guys started dating before even y'all were on like big tours and everything.
Before the band existed.
Yeah, exactly. But when did you guys get married? How did that play into the band even? Because that changes things. You're making music from your significant other to I'm making music with my wife or husband.
Yeah.
It is great because we get to be together all the time. Like on tour, we're not leaving each other for a month. Sometimes we take breaks.
Yeah.
But it's not like but on the other end of that, we both have insecure finances, which is
Yeah.
but
It's not like not one of us makes like the money and the other gets
we're both not making money, but we both know exactly why.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
fine. Yeah, no, it's cool.
It's kind of romantic, actually.
Yeah,
It
kind of
rules.
Yeah.
It rules pretty hard.
Helping each other.
Would you rather be slumming it with someone random? Like, no.
We got married in 22.
Nice.
We got married in October of 22.
Okay.
It was the very end of our first big year of touring.
Wow.
And I remember our last show was, I think, 9 days before the wedding.
Yeah, we were
Something
planning on
Wow.
the wedding.
That is
Crazy.
fast.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We toured a lot that
That
year.
was tough to watch y'all go
Yeah.
through.
Man.
We toured with the last couple of shows were with our buddies the Stews. Shout out the Stews.
Yeah.
And the last show was in like Virginia. We drove back to Nashville, and then the wedding was like the next.
Wow.
I completely forgot about that. I remember hearing you guys like wedding planning from the front seat of the van.
You know what's so funny?
In our Honda Odyssey
In the Honda
Man.
Odyssey.
with a U-Haul trailer.
My mom.
Just mom and dad
So-
arguing.
We were on the 502's tour, like early fall, late summer of 2022. While we were on that tour, we got the offer to play 2 shows to open for the Head and the Heart, and which was really cool and we were really exciting.
Nuts.
But it was like the 2 like weeks that we had open for planning. So I was calling my mom. I was like, "You gotta go buy." I don't know.
You gotta go pick up all the alcohol, and you gotta go pick up all the balloons. No, I'm kidding. I don't, she didn't get balloons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend wedding planning on tour. But
You guys crushed.
we did it.
Yeah.
Our friends still talk about our wedding.
Wow. You obviously
not
got
to brag.
through
Yeah,
it.
sorry. This interview is
Obviously.
about us now.
Not to be overly braggadocious, but it was a good one.
And,
It was fun.
That's awesome. So then you guys go from 2022, the self-titled album, then you have Up All Night, which is your other EP, but then you build towards 2024, where you get your first full album, which is Golden, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
What is that process of building an album together like? What is that? Like, how do you handle songwriting and music ideas with 5 people even?
Not super different from the projects before it, but just so involved, just in terms of scale. Like putting that many songs together, I feel like I'm probably getting deja vu from the most recent record and just all the stuff from that.
Yeah.
But like I remember us tracking stuff so long and some of those songs taking so long to put together.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm kind of having trouble.
I'm
it's
trying to
funny to
remembering.
like try to
Yeah.
think back. Like I really think it just comes together. Like we say we're gonna start working on an album, and then it's like Maddie's got a bunch of ideas that we run around with, and then Andrew might have an idea over here, and then maybe with 5 of us we'll get together and write like 1 or 2 or whatever, hold like songs together. That's kind of like, I guess I can give you specific examples to try to paint the picture. Like Big Sun, Big Sun, the song we wrote we rented like an Airbnb near Nashville to write. Like we were gonna set up our stuff and just kind of like bounce off each other and like kind of present ideas that were like half baked, closer to being fully baked, and then like I don't know, the more that we just kind of like sit with it or sat with some of these songs, it was like, cool, this is gonna go on the record. We did kind of have some arduous like processes of okay, we have like 20 songs, we have like 20 demos. What is not making the cut? So we all had to all 5 of us made like individual lists
Yeah.
of like, I want these songs definitely have to be on the record. And like, we agreed actually on a lot of them.
Right.
There wasn't much disagreement
Yeah.
with like, we need this on there. We can backlog that for another time. And then, yeah, I don't know. We had like management helping. And,
This is also Big Sun now. We skipped over.
No, you're
sorry.
all right. Keep going
Yeah.
with it. No,
I was
you're
just
so
that's just
good.
the most recent
It's
example I
it's
can.
fresh on
Well,
the
no,
mind.
but that's
Yeah.
fair because it's like that's what we're saying is I don't think that with the exception of
Golden
us
wasn't
not
too
having,
different,
Yeah,
I guess.
no.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
with the exception of us not having representation, like it was pretty much the same process. Like we did some writing together. We shopped stuff that Maddie already had, and then it just sort of came together from demo through to scratch
Yeah.
through to finished product. And
I would
stuff.
say the biggest difference between Golden and Big Sun was the amount of touring we were doing
Wow. Yeah.
while trying to finish a record.
Yeah.
Golden, we were touring a bunch while we were trying to piece that thing together.
Yeah.
Big Sun, we purposely took the year off to make a record.
And
Yeah.
I think it shows, honestly. I think like taking that time, we had more demos. We did the demo process, which
Yeah.
I don't even really know if we had
We didn't
totally
do that
done
for
before.
Golden.
We had some label
probably stuff with-
interest from
Yeah.
over here and over there, and they were
Yeah.
like, "You need 30 demos."
Yeah, right. So we're like, okay, we'll just come up with as many ideas as we can.
Yeah.
And like, I think by doing that, giving ourselves the time
Yeah.
that it took to like, to your point, like really kind of cook stuff, to get things from half baked to like full ideas. I think that was time well spent.
There you go.
And I know we're running a little late on time.
Yeah,
so
no,
should
we got one last question. We'll wrap
One
up.
last
Go
question.
ahead. Finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I
go
don't know.
for it.
I if anybody is still listening, I know you don't know who we are, but I believe in our music, and
Yeah.
I think this last album is some of our best stuff. So
Yeah.
definitely
You just
check
at
it
the
out.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I was about to say, so now you're here. It's 2026. It's been 6 years since that first EP came out too. Big Sun, you're not touring for somebody else. You're headlining your own tour now at this point. You've been at Lala too, even if I'm correct, back in 2024. Like, has it kind of sunk in that y'all have made it now? Like, how does it feel? Like, honestly, like you've come, you're not at Oxford like practicing during
Yeah,
COVID anymore,
that's a good
you know?
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did actually hit me like the other day that the situation we're in, the kit we have, the people we bring, everything involved in our show and setup and our crew is so much farther from where we were when we started touring. Like our life was depending on it, and this needed to be the next thing we do. That like we're basically in what we would have looked at back then and said that's a freaking ideal rig they have going. We would have looked at a band like us and been like, oh, that's so sick.
But now
Yeah.
we're kind of like we're just moving the line. Like we're doing great, but we still have work to do and like
Still more to go.
Yeah,
So,
you
like-
just gain yards. You know?
yeah,
Yeah, I think you have to do that
Right.
because, like,
we're not satisfied yet.
Yeah.
and I mean, our goals were very lofty from the beginning. So it's
Yeah.
like, even compared to those goals, we're not even close. But yes, completely thrilled with where we are and
So
how far we've come,
Yeah.
and with the work we've put in. Because like, I would never name any bands for like, I don't even know any bands off the top of my head. But I'm just saying that like, we feel like whatever we have now, we have earned in a sense. We've earned our stripes at least. We've been through the ringer in a lot of ways, and however, I think that will take us far. I really do, and I think it'll be a cool story to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you already have a ton of cool stories already. Even like, I can't imagine what you'll have left. Like,
Hopefully they get less sad.
hey, the path may be chaotic, but your landings are always happy. Clearly, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, come on.
There we go.
Come on.
Ladies and
Way to
gentlemen,
land the plane.
ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening and watching WTUR The Source live with Happy Landing, where we have got, I'm going to try and do this one time. We got Jacob and Maddie and Keegan and Andrew and Wilson and Zach in back as well. This has been Happy Landing live on WTUR The Source, going on the Big Sun Tour in 2024. Be sure to catch them all year. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming here. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see y'all.
Big Sun.
Big Sun.